Welcome back to Our Chicago. I'm Judy Sue. Joining me now is the Democratic candidate for Illinois Secretary of State, Alexi Janulius. He previously served as Illinois State Treasurer. In 2010, he ran for U.S. Senate, losing to Republican Mark Kirk. Janulius is the CEO and founder of Anula Ventures, which invests in startups, and he joins me now. Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thrilled to be on. Thank you, Judy.
So let's get started with a question about efficiency. Both you and your opponent have talked about it a lot. It is a top priority, you said. In fact, you called it a time tax for the amount of time people waited to, quote, access their government. So what are the specific things that you will be doing to modernize this office, shortening those waits, and perhaps more importantly, how long will it take for people to see the difference?
So, yes, our whole campaign has been about eliminating the time tax that people are spending and wasting just to access simple government services. So we want to modernize the office, bring new technology to the office. So we announced our Skip the Line program, which will allow people to actually schedule an appointment and get to the front of the line so they don't have to wait, just like you do in the private sector. We're going to put driver's license and IDs on people's mobile devices for those who want them. We're also going to have office kiosks at all the DMVs. We've also looked at vision tests being online, the creation of a Secretary of State's app, so you can access all the Secretary of State services through an app. Again, none of the technologies that we've been talking about require new inventions. Other states are already doing all this. What we want to do is just make sure we bring it to the Secretary of State's office. We've been talking about modernization from day one, which is why I'm so proud to receive the endorsements of every newspaper across the state that's made an endorsement in this race because of our ideas, because of our policy proposals, and Judy, because we did the same thing when I was state treasurer. We brought these new innovations and modernization to that office.
So how long will it take for people to see these differences, and what about the cost?
So the cost over the long term, Judy, we're going to actually bring costs down because of these efficiencies, because we're going to streamline services. Take, for example, electronic car titles. Right now, if you go to buy a car, it might take weeks to get your car title. State of Wisconsin and a number of other states, they have electronic car titling. That is something that we think we can implement within the first 6 to 12 months. I think the mobile IDs and driver's license we should be able to do within the first 12 to 18 months. So it's not going to be easy, but I am aggressively working on looking at how to do this as quickly as possible, because again, people are sick and tired of waiting in lines, and they're sick and tired of paying the time tax just to access simple government services.
Let's talk about keeping records safe. The Secretary of State's office actually manages one of the largest databases in Illinois, keeping track of nearly 8.7 million drivers, 11 million registered vehicles, more than 450,000 corporations. That's a lot of personal information on file. How do you make sure that that's safe when we're faced with so many data breaches right now?
Great question. So cybersecurity and protecting people's data will be at the forefront of every single thing that we do. So we've talked to other states, for example. We've looked at how they're handling it. The technology exists to keep people's information safe. Just people should know that we will not do anything unless their data is safe and protected. For example, we spoke to the Secretary of State in Louisiana, where they have mobile IDs and mobile driver's license. They have had 0 instances of any hacking or fraud. So we want to bring that same technology. I mean, it's sad and funny that we're using technology from Louisiana, but it's similar to blockchain technology, which keeps everything secure. But everyone should know cybersecurity will be at the forefront of everything we do.
It really is very critical. You have also talked about an ethics plan if you're elected. What does that entail?
So people are sick and tired of scandal and corruption and headlines. So when I was state treasurer, the first thing I did my first day in office was enact the most wide-ranging, comprehensive ethics package in state government. We're going to do the same thing in the Secretary of State's office. There will be no pay-to-play in the Secretary of State's office, and we want to push legislation to make sure that as the keeper of lobbyist registrations and reports, that we know exactly who's lobbying what government entity, who their clients are. We don't think that anyone who is serving in any capacity, whether it's municipal, state, or federal government, should be lobbying any other form of government. So there are some loopholes that we want to eliminate. Again, people in Illinois are sick and tired of the scandals. We want people to have faith and to trust Illinois government again.
Okay, I think I have time for one more question. Your opponent has proposed a temporary cut on license plate renewal fees. Your thoughts on that?
It's offensive, it's ridiculous, it's a political ploy to try and get votes. That will cost $550 million a year, $500 million a year, that my opponent is literally yanking from the road fund. Hasn't said how he's going to replace it. You know, he's been in Springfield for 20 plus years. That's not works. That's why our finances are a mess. That's not a responsible proposal.
All right, I'm gonna have to leave it right there. We are out of time. I'm trying to keep it to the same time for both of you. Alexi Giannoulias, thank you so much for joining us.
Great to see you, Judy. Thank you.
All right, Democratic candidate for Illinois Secretary of State. And that does it for Our Chicago. We will be back with more news and weather after a short break.
Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our ABC7 Chicago YouTube channel.